um, moving forward, so um, obviously I can tell from your concert schedule that you really prioritize chamber music. And obviously, you play with Albert a lot, and um, Albert in the first episode shared his enthusiasm for chamber music and the spirit of chamber music. And so I'm curious, Will, um, how is working in a chamber music setting helped and shaped your work as a soloist when you come back to your big concertos? So, like for example, what does playing a Brahms piano trio do for you when you come back to his violin concerto?
It's not that different. It's really not very different at all, especially piano trio. That's really very soloistic playing for all three.
Mm.
What's interesting about Brahms concerto is that you're very rarely in control of the melody in the concerto.
Mm.
You often, the melody is below, it's obvious, and it's there. The themes and the melodies in Brahms concerto are not really what make it that great. It's the drama that's created by playing kind of like the solo part gets to do on top of the melody and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So of course there are places where the violin has the melody, but more than other violin concertos, in Beethoven concerto and Brahms concerto, those two concertos, you're really often a soloistic second voice.
Yeah.
So we all know the dum dum bum ba dun 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 well da 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 bum 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 yeah. I mean, you can kind of argue that the cellos have the boom. Nice voice crack. The boom, boom, bum bum, boom, bum bum, bum 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 ba. It's straight out of the orchestra introduction.
Right.
And sorry, I'm really nerding out on Brahms right now, but basically the point is that, I mean, first of all, chamber music it really is some of the most amazing music. I mean, show me a better piece than Verklärte Schubert Cello Quintet, Schubert's second piano trio, first piano trio. I mean, it's Brahms Viola Quintet, G major. Just astonishingly amazing music. Mozart Divertimento. Just incredible stuff. And then with chamber music, you get to play with people that are, you get to play with other people. And I'm so lucky. I get to play with people like Albert, who's amazing.
Yeah.
Not good, not great, like beyond that. He's like amazing. He's just fabulous. And I get to play with Orion Weiss, who's, just same thing. It's like, I mean, it's just so inspiring to play with him. And then it's really helpful to play in a group where people will actually call you out if you're not listening. And if as I've gotten more experience with chamber music and I'm better at letting the other line out, because for the longest time I was just a soloist, and even when I played chamber music, I was so focused on my part. It's actually, you're a much better concerto player when you know when to back off. And when there are times when you need to be listening to somebody, you need to be talking to somebody. And if you're still talking at the audience, it's like, I think Tetzlaff told me kind of offhand in a lesson one time, we're not just musicians, we're actors. And that's been a huge thing. I don't know if he meant for it to be as huge an influence as it was on me, but basically, if the scene that you're playing in the play is not breaking the fourth wall, and you're just breaking the fourth wall, just talking to the audience, or I shouldn't say breaking the fourth wall, but if you're constantly speaking in a monologue when you should be responding to the person who just came through stage left, you're not giving a very good performance. And it took me, it's shameful to say, but I played Korngold Concerto several times before I was really aware of the one-on-one chamber music duets that are happening with me in the orchestra. And you can get away with it because, it's not clearly marked. It's not like the audience sees a spotlight on each person that you're supposed to be doing. And you can get away with it if you play with good rhythm, but it's just so much better.
Yeah.
And you change your playing so much. There's way better variation in your performances if you're responding to somebody rather than just playing at the audience the entire time. And of course, when you're responding to the person, you're still playing to the audience. It's just a lot more fun for the audience.
Right.
Because all of a sudden you're responding. And I mean, Albert is constantly saying stuff to me in the piano that's like, he's just so elevating my playing, so elevating my playing. And if I try to talk back to him, it elevates his playing and we can elevate each other's playing. And you don't actually have to be that beyond belief good at your instrument to elevate somebody's playing. You just have to talk to him, give him the opportunity. And so anyway, that's how chamber music has really, I think, hugely improved my concerto playing, is that I really care about what the flute is trying to say after the cadenza in the Tchaikovsky. And I play my part. You know, it's also really funny in chamber music. I'll practice something over and over again. Why is this not working? I feel like it should be prettier. And then you get to the rehearsal and immediately it's so easy because you just need that other person to be talking to you.
Right. Yeah. No, that's so spot on in terms of just the listening and responding. I would just venture to add on one more thing, because for me personally, I think what chamber music does is, I mean, oftentimes people talk about how music is its own language, right? You know, it's a language that we use and not speak, but it's its own language. I would go a step further and say, you know, the different composers studying their music is like studying another dialect. So when you're learning like a Brahms trio or one of his quartets or, you know, Beethoven quartets, you're not just, you know, playing another quartet. You're really getting an insight into their world and their dialect. And so that's one thing that I really find important, because then you can bring that back to when you work on, you know, a Brahms sonata even, or, you know, just anything of the sort. So that's just, that's something that I found.
I love that. That's great. Yeah.
So, okay, that's great. And Will, I'm glad that you